If you want your dogs to stop jumping on your guests, here are some things that you can work on. The first thing I want to make sure the dog knows is how to down, how to stay, and how to go to place. I will then start working on desensitizing the dog to sounds of the door or people approaching. So that could be the Ring app on your phone, it could be the doorbell, it could be people knocking. I'll even open the door and say, hey, how are you? And make sure that that dog stays on their place. So the hardest part is gonna be when your dog actually sees somebody on the other side of that door. So once the dog is reliable with the sounds and the action of walking towards the door and pretending somebody's there, the next step is practicing with a person. It's important for you to set up these scenarios. If your friend is coming over and your dog is reacting and you're like, ooh, I gotta train this right now, you set yourself up and your dog up to fail. So invite people over, text them what to expect, let them know you're going to be training, and then we can hang out. And if you have a partner, you can use your partner. Start with one person at a time. You don't want to bombard your dog with 3 people coming over and starting a training session. As you make your training sessions harder, as you continue to challenge your dog, it's going to get a little tricky. Just because your dog is really good at something inside the house without any distractions doesn't mean that they can still perform those skills reliably when you introduce different kinds of distractions. Keep your dog on a leash. If your dog gets up and rushes towards your guest, you need to be able to quickly grab them and put them back on their bed. Instruct your guests on what to do. Tell them, hey, don't look, don't touch, don't talk to my dog, just give me 1 second. Tell them when to move, how to move, where to move. Reward your dog for continued downstays as your guest gets closer. It can be helpful to ignore certain behaviors, but it's much more productive if you also layer that with teaching your dog what to do instead. Practice these sessions frequently. Practice a lot, as much as possible, because if you only do it once or twice here and there, you're not going to build up enough muscle memory for your dog or for yourself for this to become reliable. I would also work on controlled greetings. Teach your dog the appropriate way to interact with people. I want you to practice this so often that when the time comes that you have people coming over, you're gonna feel good about knowing what to do. And not just you. Your dog is also gonna feel so good about knowing what to do. You set the tone, you set the expectations, and you've rehearsed this hundreds and hundreds of times. Hope that helps.